Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna speak about Anthony Joshua possibly retiring from the sport of boxing as a result of that unfortunate accident that he had to experience. We're gonna speak about Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Who is the better fighter? I got a special segment for y'all, man. We definitely gonna get y'all involved in this one. I need to know what the nation thinks about this new topic that I'm gonna be bringing into the boxing community. Then we're gonna speak about Xander Zayas' opinion, our reaction to Xander Zayas and his prediction of who wins between Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Boots Ennis. You see what I'm saying? But before we get into that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,300 mark. About to hit that 3,400 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I see a bunch of comments in the building already, man. Let's get the algorithm on the up, y'all. Y'all already know what to do. We got 4 people in here. We need 4 likes, man. Let's get it popping. Shout out to the boy Ghost787 in the building. He said, "Yeah, what's going on, brother? How we feeling?" Much love, much love. The boy Shay in the building. What up? What up? Agent 86 in the building. What up? Chris Maldonado, my high school brother. How we feeling, y'all? Slime said, "Nigga in his pantry." Shout out to Mazuma Nation. No, I'm not in my pantry. My girl handling some business with her, like nail tech. She got some nail tech shit going on. So I'm actually going live from my laundry room, which is bigger than Slime crib and bigger than his appetite. So fuck Slime. Anyways, shout out to the boy. Who else in the building? J Cash, the money man. What up? Ralphie. R3. What's going on, brother? What's going on? What's going on? How we feeling? How we feeling? We got some things to discuss. My boy Coffee playing in the building. Always good seeing my brother Coffee. That's one of my favorite people, man. What's going on? Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in my laundry room. Look, yo, Sam, can you do this in your bedroom? Can you do this? Can you use your wingspan? You know what I'm saying? I mean, motherfuckers be claustrophobic in slime crib. I'm just playing. This is an apartment. I don't own it anyway. Fuck, I'm flexing for it. Shay said, "Mark, I swear I be seeing some YouTubers copying your takes in boxing. Bro, I be trying to tell people, bro. Niggas be thinking I be tripping. Cause you know what it be, bro? Niggas will DM me and be like, yo, Mark, this sounds just like your take. I'm like, all right, well, maybe he just got the same opinion as me. You feel me? That's not a, that's not like an impossible thing. You feel what I mean? Because in boxing, especially if you're making a prediction or whatever the case is, uh, you know, you either gonna choose one side or the other. You feel me? So if I say, yo, I picture Corey Stevenson to beat Teofimo Lopez by unanimous decision, and somebody else said, I'm not gonna be like, that nigga stealing. No, you're not gonna hear that from me, brother. That's just an opinion. But when I be doing like breakdowns and shit, you feel what I'm saying? Like little things like that, things where you gotta give like specific details. I see people literally like saying the same shit as me, taking the same angles. You know what I'm saying? And like that lets me know that people respect my opinions. But at the end of the day, it'd be like channels that's bigger than me. That'd be the crazy part. So it just let me know niggas be watching. You know what I mean? I don't really give a fuck for real. Like I said, like I ain't one of them people. A million people could pass me up on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. I'm content in what I put out here. You know what I mean? I genuinely enjoy doing this. And at the end of the day, these niggas don't be knowing boxing like me, ain't experienced boxing like me. And shout out to the ones who actually know boxing like I do and have actually experienced more than I do. That's why there's very few channels that I really fuck with. You already know who the channels are. You know what I mean? I fuck with Greg Hackett, YSM Sports Media. He puts out quality interviews. And he has some good takes himself whenever he feels like, speaking on things himself. You know what I mean? 78 Sports TV, that's the legend. I think he the greatest. To be real, I think he the greatest like boxing content uh Cause like he been doing it so long, bro. Like 78, he the GOAT to me. And this YouTube boxing community shit, I just fuck with him. Even though he really don't talk about boxing or get as deep into boxing as he usually does. Um, you know what I mean? Phenomenal channel. But besides that, I don't really listen to anybody. Be like, yo, Mark, you watch this? Do what? No, I don't. But people really send me clips of like certain people's channels. I don't even remember the one dude because if I did, I would have said it. I mean, I don't give a fuck. But he had said some shit identical to what I said. I'm like, yo, this nigga must have like memorized my video and put it out there. But you know, it is what it is. You feel me? I ain't really tripping. You know what I mean? My boy Shay came through and said, for real, bro, that's how you know you're doing something right, but that's mad weirdo energy. At least give credit. Well, they want to, what a lot of people tend to do is they take people's ideas and try to make it their own. You know what I mean? Because they want people to look at them as like, oh, he has good boxing takes. And the whole time they're not even thinking for themselves. You feel me? But like Coffee Plan said, man, it comes with the game. That's a fact. That's a fact, brother. No matter what you do. It just be crazy that y'all niggas like I just hit 3,300 subs. That's not that many subs. You feel what I mean? I could barely crack 100 views on a fucking video, but here y'all go, y'all dick eating me. Like that's crazy to me. I'm getting these bigger channels attention. They be mad whenever I say something about them. Niggas sending me emails, calling me. They're like niggas, these niggas be shook, bro. I'm telling you, niggas be mad, intimidated at your boy Mazuma TV. And it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Because growing up, a lot of niggas was intimidated of me. So this ain't nothing new. Even when I didn't try, niggas was shook with me for some reason. I just bring out the insecurity in a lot of these niggas. But we gonna keep making it do what it do. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna keep doing this great boxing talk as we always do. And you know, motherfuckers gonna see in time who really one of them ones. And that's your boy. And I ain't one of them ones if it ain't for y'all. So shout out to the motherfucking nation. Shout out to the motherfucking mob. We in the building. So let's since we already off to a smooth start, man. We gonna go ahead and talk about Anthony Joshua. Absolutely faith over fear. Y'all already know I wear this t-shirt on the regular. It's one of my favorite ones. Definitely don't fear a motherfucking soul. We got faith in our God. We got faith in ourselves, and that's all that matters. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? My boy Slime already know what it is. He said, nigga got the lemonade juice pack strip in the water. Gate, you fucking right. You fucking right. So, anyways, man, let's talk about Anthony Joshua. And of course, we're going to approach this from a respectful perspective, man, because Anthony Joshua, y'all already know what done happened. He done went through a serious traumatic situation, and he's been pretty quiet since then. You know, he did put up a post on Instagram, I guess with his friends who unfortunately passed away in a car accident. His family and said something along the lines of "my brother's keeper." That's a beautiful way to put things, man. That's showing his loyalty. That's showing his love for his friends, and the fact that he actually went, when he can really just isolate himself from the world, for him to go, show love to the family and attend the funerals and things of that nature. It just goes to show how great of a friend Anthony Joshua is. You feel what I mean? Because I think if he would have isolated and just disappeared off the map, I think people would have understood that as well. But he didn't hide from the public. You know what I mean? He actually embraced the public, which is, his friends, family who are grieving at this time, just like himself. So beautiful thing. But I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know if Anthony Joshua is going to retire. I don't know if he's set to retire, but apparently somebody had ran into Anthony Joshua's uncle and that spoke on the situation. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I forgot what the uncle's name is, but his last name is Joshua too. But okay, it says so. His name is Adida Mola, Adida Mola, Joshua. You know what I'm saying? He told Punch in a bombshell update, the major thing there is that he has retired from boxing. That is one thing that makes us glad because each time he's fighting in the ring, we are always carried away emotionally. Each time he's knocked down, it is just like the heart is coming out of our chest. All of these emotional feelings whenever he's fighting, it's too much trauma for us also. Now that he has said he's leaving while the ovation is highest, we are happy. Joshua's relatives later suggested that he had indeed informed those close to him of his decision. Now, this is my whole thing with the situation, right? I don't mind Anthony Joshua retiring. This was a traumatic situation. And if you're not in the right space mentally, there's no use for you to come back in the sport of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? This man saw one of his friends decapitated. You feel what I mean? Not to get too explicit, but that's literally what was shown on that video. His other friend, they died on impact. You feel what I'm saying? That's something that he got to live with for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? And he's not going to be the same person moving forward. Even if he stays in boxing and still does some great things from a mental aspect, it's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations he's going to have to go through. You see what I'm saying? Definitely RIP to his folks. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm listening to go. I read Go 787 comment. We're going to get to that, brother. Just let me finish up on this segment right here. I don't mind Anthony Joshua retiring. I don't mind him walking away from the sport after this traumatic event. You see what I mean? I think we could all say that we wanted the Tyson Fury fight, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. What happened. And there's nothing that could really reverse that situation. You know what I mean? That's in the, that happened recently. You know what I mean? And that's something that he has to deal with for the rest of his life. And he may not ever be worried about boxing ever again as a result of this. You see what I mean? So if he no longer wants to continue boxing, that's his right to do so. That's his prerogative. At least he was he did a lot of great things in the sport. He left the game on a high note, I guess, beating up on Jake Paul, you know what I mean? Giving hardcore boxer fans what we've been wanting to see since, the ascension of Jake Paul. So, at least I could say that if this is Anthony Joshua's last fight, you know what I mean? He actually ended his career at a time where I actually supported him, which I can't say I did throughout the entire course of his career. But in his last fight, I was rooting for him 100%. You know what I mean? I was waving my UK flag, you know what I mean? And from a figurative standpoint, you know what I mean? I'm singing Sweet Caroline. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I was in my bag. I was fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? And Anthony Joshua showed out. But the only thing that bothered me with this, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. You know what I mean? Now, if he had consent from Anthony Joshua, then so be it. But I do definitely think that his uncle was totally out of line for revealing this to the public. You know what I'm saying? I forgot how the way you say his name. Let me see. Adida Mola, his uncle. Adida Loma. No, I'm sorry. Adida Mola. I think he was totally out of line for revealing this to the public. You know what I mean? Like I said, if he got Anthony Joshua's permission to say so, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'll take back what I said. But considering the fact that Anthony Joshua probably didn't expect his uncle to put this out publicly, I do think he was totally out of line. I think it was out of pocket. And you should have let Anthony Joshua, say what he had to say in regard to him retiring. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like anybody should make that announcement except that specific individual that is retiring. That's just me. You see what I mean? Now, everything else Mola said outside of that, that's his prerogative to speak on. You know what I'm saying? In terms of him, being full of emotions while his nephew is boxing and him getting knocked down is just such a traumatizing experience for y'all. That's y'all viewpoint, you know what I'm saying? So I can't get mad at y'all for speaking on that particular subject. But when you're speaking on somebody else's career, when you're speaking on another man's choices, and he clearly hasn't made it public yet, there's no reason why you should have came out of your way to say that without his consent or, being the first one to say it. It's almost like you want the attention from the situation. That's how I take it. You feel me? But like I said, I don't know what was agreed upon behind the scenes. I don't know if his uncle told Joshua that he was going to say it publicly, but I think you should have left that up for AJ to put out there himself. You know what I'm saying? This is his situation. He experienced this on his own. He has to retire. He has to retire on his own terms. So because that is a sole decision, he needs to make that. He needs to make that announcement solely on his own. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, man, prayers go out to Anthony Joshua and his loved ones. You know what I mean? RIP to Anthony Joshua's folks. You know what I'm saying? His folks, family. Y'all all are in our prayers as well. And if Anthony Joshua is officially done with the sport, I really can't be mad at him from this situation. Like I said, as a boxing fan, I would have loved to have seen Anthony Joshua ride off into the sunset with that Tyson Fury fight, win, lose, draw, whatever the case is. I would have loved to have seen him take on, that last fight and then, just go out as a Hall of Famer, to be honest with you, regardless of how the way we feel about Anthony Joshua, Hall of Fame fighter. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about somebody who beat quality opponents. You know what I mean? Retired Vladimir Klitschko, who was at the top of the heavyweight division for I don't know how long prior to Tyson Fury beating him. Then you went and you beat him being a young, inexperienced heavyweight. You know what I mean? Won a world title early on in your career with Charles Martin. You beat guys like Joseph Parker. You know what I mean? Alexander Povetkin, Kubrat Pulev. You know what I'm saying? You got Andy, you avenged your loss with Andy Ruiz. You fought Alexander Usyk twice. So, and you fought Daniel Dubois, who was who ended up becoming a champion after his fight with Anthony Joshua. So, you fought quality guys. You know what I mean? You lost to some guys, you beat some guys, but you know what I mean? He's had multiple title defenses. He's became unified champion twice. So you got to respect Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, I didn't agree with some of his career moves, but at the end of the day, he had a solid career. And Shay, with the first fight, he pretty much got picked apart with Usyk. I did think that clearly he lost both times, but in the second fight, he made a better. He made some adjustments and. He came back better. He just was outmatched against Usyk, but that's okay because everybody thus far that has came up against Usyk at cruiser and heavyweight have been outclassed. You see what I mean? Usyk happens to be, above retiring. Alexander Usyk happens to be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. So can we really be mad that Anthony Joshua lost to him? Not really. But looking at his, his career in totality, he's done some amazing things. He's had some setbacks. He's had some highs. He's had some lows. You know what I mean? That's just what comes with the game. But he's done some phenomenal things. And we got to take into consideration that he's an Olympic gold medalist. And we have to take into consideration that he started boxing late, yo. So, you know what I mean? Salute to Anthony Joshua, man. He did some phenomenal things in the sport. Definitely going to be a remembered name in boxing history, especially out in the UK. You see what I mean? I'm just glad you got rid of Jake Paul before you decided to hang up the glove, brother. So, salute to Anthony Joshua, you know what I mean? When I'm criticizing these guys, it's merely from a boxing perspective. I'm sure Anthony Joshua may be a cool brother outside of all of this. You know what I'm saying? It's not personal. You feel me? With some people, it's personal. You know what I mean? Some fighters, it is personal for me. I don't know Anthony Joshua to be a drug cheat. I don't know him to be a racist. And I feel like if you black, you can't even be racist. That's just me. You know what I mean? I know that might sound crazy, but you know what I mean? I can do a little bit of explaining. You know what I mean? I can explain that. But regardless, that's a totally different topic. I ain't about to get in my Dr. Umar bag or nothing like that. But whatever, man. Prayers out to Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And that's how we just going to end that segment, man. We're going to let Anthony Joshua make his announcement. If it's true, much kudos to him. If he decides to make a return from boxing, then we support that as well. Salute to Anthony Joshua. That's all I really got to say about this. So now we're going to move on to the next subject. And I'm going to just get this out the way because I want to say this last segment. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this segment right here. I hope my boy Anonymous in the building because he's definitely a huge help when it comes to these type of segments. It's going to be similar to the Mazuma TV Awards. You know what I mean? In terms of getting, the subscribers, you know what I mean? The nation, involved, leading their opinions on this whole situation. So I hope you guys stick tight. Shout out to the 21 people that's in the building. We're going to get into Xander Zayas' pick with Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis. You see what I mean? Shout out to Boxer Social for putting together this interview. They're interviewing Xander Zayas, who is getting ready for his unification fight against Abbas Barao, January 31st, I believe, in San Juan, Puerto Rico, at the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely on. It's lit. It's popping. You know what I'm saying? And Xander Zayas, from what I've been seeing on social media, he looks ready. He looks to be in phenomenal shape. He looks like he's getting great work as well, working with Troy Isley. I forgot the European brother's name, but they've been working. They've been working, man. And Xander Zayas look like he ain't leaving no stones unturned. Definitely look like he a little heavy, though. Look like he a little heavy. You know what I'm saying? It don't look like he got much water to lose. So Xander Zayas is just a big kid, man. I genuinely believe that, you know, win or lose in this fight with Abbas Barao, I think he's moving up to 160 after this. This kid is he just seemed like he just can't stop hitting growth spurts. I don't know what it is, but we got to take into consideration the man did turn pro when he was 16. So, you know, he was a late bloomer. And shit, it's like he just running through weight classes like calories in this motherfucker. So, I guess boxing. So, you know what? I'm going to let the interview do the talking. You ain't got to hear nothing from me. Let's hear this interview right here. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to Xander Zayas' biggest fan, Go 787. And it's only a small clip. It's a little less than a minute. Let's hear it.
Ask you, this isn't about you fighting either of these two fighters, but I did find it weird on BoxRec. You're ranked number 3 on BoxRec in your weight division, but Ortiz and Ennis are ranked above you, despite them not being world champions, which I always find a little bit strange with that algorithm. But with that fight, it's really being pushed, especially in the UK as well. I think Eddie.
Yeah, I don't really understand that neither, but I've always been critical of BoxRec's ranking system. So yeah, I do think that's weird.
Him being a big part of that. How do you see that fight going down between Jaron Ennis and Boot?
I feel like Jaron Ennis, excuse my French, but he's gonna put belt to ass. I feel like Jaron Ennis is gonna be.
Oh my God, that gotta be like the first time I've ever heard Xander like remotely curse. Oh my God, he really just said that shit. He said Boots gonna put belt to ass. Is that what he just said?
Above you, despite them not being world champions, which I always find a little bit strange with that algorithm. But with that fight, it's really being pushed, especially in the UK as well. I think Eddie Hearn being a big part of that. How do you see that fight going down between Jaron Ennis and Boot?
I feel like Jaron Ennis, excuse my French, but he's gonna put belt to ass. I feel like Jaron Ennis is gonna beat Vergil Ortiz. He has all the attributes to beat him: athletic, strong, fast, sharp, great defense, great movement. I mean, Ortiz is just strong.
I mean,
that's about it.
No, definitely. I appreciate your honesty, Xander. It's great.
It's like he want to laugh too. Look, Xander a fucking troll little kid. You could tell Xander's not really too fond of Vergil Ortiz. I also want to throw that in there. But he actually had a great take. I think it was overshadowed by him saying the belt the ass take. But he made some valid points. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how the way I view the fight. I do think that Boots is more well versed in terms of skill set. You know what I mean? Ring IQ. I just feel like Boots is the superior athlete, the superior boxer. I just think all around the board he's better than Vergil. I'm not saying that Vergil's a dumb fighter, because he's intelligent in his own ways. He puts intelligent pressure, good hand speed, accurate body puncher. Vergil could be very dangerous, and if Boots slips that night, it could be Vergil's fight. You see what I mean? To win. But I do think that Vergil is outmatched in several departments. And I think that's why. And I think his team knows that, and I think that's why they've been holding and delaying the shit as much as they've been delaying it. I think that's why they trying to shake every dollar off the motherfucking money tree. You feel me? That's just what I think. But it was just hilarious to hear Virgil. I mean, hear Xander Zayas say that, and the way he's smiling at the end. It's like he trolling. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's absolutely hilarious, to be honest with you. He didn't even mean to be funny in that situation, but I can't help but laugh at that. But that's his truth. You know what I mean? That's how he feels. I agree with him wholeheartedly. I do think Boots is gonna put a beating on Virgil when they fight. You know what I mean? I think that's just what it's gonna be, and I think that's what's gonna really put Boots in a position to really catapult him to the top in terms of like being a star in the sport of boxing. I do think Boots is already like a popular name in the sport, especially amongst hardcore boxing fans. But I do think beating Virgil, especially if he beats him in dominating fashion, that's going to take his stock to a whole new level. And then he could finally be that fighter that he's been wanting to be for these past few years already. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Xander Zayas, man. We definitely going to be talking more about his fight with Abbas Barao as the fight gets closer. You know what I mean? It seems like we're about 25 days away from the fight. So that's about 3 weeks and 2 days. Wait, 4 days. 3 weeks and 4 days. So hey man, we almost there. Right now we got the fight week for Surel Matias versus Dalton Smith. Of course, we're gonna be talking about that fight as it gets closer. I ain't gonna lie though. I seen them ticket prices. Over there. I might put something together. Hold on, real quick. Well, I thought that was my son that stepped out the room. I'm like, fuck. But no, we good. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to sneak over there, bro. Them tickets for let me see what them tickets looking like for Sue Burrell. Dalton Smith tickets. Let me see what they looking like. Let's see what they looking like, man. Because I was hearing that you could get in the fight for like $85. Look at this, man. Look at this. Ooh, never mind. They still got some expensive ass seats in there. Hold up now. Let me see what that look like. A standard ticket right now is $97. Let me see. Where would this be? Yeah, that's a little far. I don't know about that. Let me see. Just to show you a special. Never mind. It ain't as cheap as I thought. I know I'm a cheap motherfucker, but yeah. Nah, that ain't happening. I think they're asking for way too much bread, to be honest. They want $1,800 to see Dalton Smith and Sue Burrell. Y'all niggas out y'all motherfucking mind. But if you want to sit in the nosebleeds, you know what I mean, you could get a nice little couple dollars. I mean, you could get a nice little deal on some nosebleeds. Shit, you could get a nosebleed for $120. Shit. Never mind, y'all. I'm gonna stay my ass right in Philly. I'm cool. I was thinking like, yo, them tickets really, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I mean, but we ain't doing none of that. Slav says Sue Burrell got a good fight on his hands if he ain't responsible in the ring. Well, I was looking at Dalton Smith a little bit. First of all, he ain't faced anybody to reassure me that he could beat a fucking Sue Burrell Matias. Now, he might be a lot better than, we expect. We just, I mean, there's just, I guess his opponents just didn't bring everything up out of me for us to know how good he is. You know what I mean? He might be the truth, but based off of what I've seen, based off of how the way I've seen him perform in certain fights, I'm like, no, this ain't it, bro. Like Dalton Smith, he seemed like he a solid counter puncher and shit like that, but I don't know if he's gonna have the power necessary to discourage Sue Burrell from his pressure, his, offensive, his onslaught. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to be able to discourage Subriel. I see Subriel in there with some big punchers like Jukambayev, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Slime, you saying he pretty decent, but who did he show to be pretty decent against, bro? Like, let's really talk about it. We talking about what? Jose Cepeda, bro? Like, Jose Cepeda, all right, he beat Josue Vargas. He had a good fight with Baranchek. It's like, I think that was his name, Ivan Baranchek or something like that. I forgot his name. But he had like a fight of the year contender. But he got whooped by Regis Prograis. You feel me? Like, all right, cool. He looked pretty decent against motherfuckers who not on Subriel level and don't bring the type of intensity and style that Subriel brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. What I'm trying to say is I ain't convinced. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna have to show me something. My boy Anonymous coming through in the building. He said that shit is a guaranteed flop. I don't know who the fuck thought of putting Subriel, putting a Matias and UK dude as a main event in New York with no undercard and no big promoter. It shouldn't have at least been in PR. I agree. That definitely should have been a Puerto Rico fight, to be honest with you. I just know that Fresh Productions, which is Subriel Matias' promoter, actually put up more bread than Matchroom did. So they were actually able to win the purse bid. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was why. But considering the fact that Fresh Productions won the purse bid, they should have taken it upon themselves to actually put it in a setting where they could actually make the most money. I think they probably would have generated more ticket sales in Puerto Rico in comparison to New York. You know what I mean? I understand New York got a lot of Puerto Ricans and shit like that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if New York Puerto Ricans is really backing Subriel yet. He just seems like he's a hot commodity on the island as of right now. I don't know if his superstardom has transitioned to New York yet. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, with the steroid situation, with the Austrian situation, him failing drug tests, I'm sure that discouraged a lot of people from wanting to buy tickets as well. You know what I mean? Subriel might have lost some supporters off of that. That may have damaged his reputation. It seems like it's water under the bridge at this point. I don't really see anybody criticizing Subriel, but it's not far-fetched to say that may have had an impact on why there's so many tickets available right now. There's also some last-minute people, so they might be able to sell a few hundred, you know what I mean, the night of the fight and shit like that. But nah, man, I don't know why they felt like doing that at the Barclays. You feel me? In my opinion, I think they're gonna end up losing money. Losing money on this event. That's just me. You feel what I mean? Anonymous said, yeah, Dalton is in over his head. This is a big step up in class, and he's gonna get stepped on. Ooh-wee. I wonder what's going through Dalton Smith's head though. Like, can you imagine getting ready for a fighter who's already known for his brutality, his dog, his relentlessness, and then you find out this nigga had a performance enhancement drug in his system. They let it go because it was a small amount. In my head, I'm like, so I gotta deal with this motherfucker, and he may possibly be on the juice. What the fuck am I really getting myself into? Like, that has to be like it could be a situation that, like, if you were an undefeated fighter like Dalton, I guess you could just brush off. But at the same time, you gotta have some type of worries in your head, like, yo, this motherfucker, like, I'm really about to go in here with a dude who may possibly be a dirty fighter. Does that fuck with your confidence? Does it not fuck with your confidence? We're going to see what Dalton Smith mindset is like going into this fight, yo. Seriously. And it's not like he doesn't know who Subriel is. You know what Subriel is going to do when that bell ring. Do you have what it takes to deal with that? I hope you've been watching a whole lot of Liam Paro. I really hope that you are following through with a solid game plan. You know what I mean? Because if you got any type of bitch in your blood, this is going to be a long night for you. Or it might be a short one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. My boy R3 in the building said, Mazuma, you might want to check the odds for Matias versus Smith. I'm a little surprised. All right, let's take a look Let me see. My eyes look a little close, huh? My eyes a little close, huh? Subaru is the favorite, but a small favorite. Minus 150. Dalton Smith a plus 130. That's interesting. So you gotta put $150 on Subaru to win 100. And if you put $100 on Dalton, you can win $130. It's interesting. That's interesting. Yo, somebody had put together an article on BetMGM, and they actually got Dalton Smith winning by decision. Somebody did the article, the one who making the article, he said, I predict a unanimous decision win for Smith over Matias because he's the faster, more technical, and more disciplined boxer. An approach is a perfect counter to Matias' forward pressure. This approach is a perfect counter to Matias' forward pressure and volume output. Okay. So because he's disciplined, more technical, and faster, that's going to be enough to offset Subaru's pressure and volume. Very casual take. I'm going to just say that. Because you could be disciplined and still get hit upside your motherfucking head. You can still be disciplined and still get walked down by a pressure fighter. You could be disciplined and still get hit with a nice body shot that take half the fucking gas out your tank. Like, I don't really understand that. Being more technical, what does that mean? Can somebody tell me what he's more technical? What is, like, I hear people say that shit all the time. Like, there was a lot of motherfuckers who was more technical than Deontay Wilder. And what the fuck happened? Like, I don't know, bro. And he's faster. Okay. Joe Joyce was the slowest motherfucker on earth. He was beating the dog shit out of niggas until he ran into Julie Zhang. I'm like, what the fuck? All of this shit could be neutralized. I don't know. I just feel like you gotta be a little bit more detailed with your predictions when you making them. I don't know, bro. But it is what it is, man. I don't really expect niggas to have breakdowns like me. But the guy's name is Anatoly Pimentel. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, them odds not, they really close. But, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe we got to talk, because I already spoke on Dalton Smith's perspective going into the fight. What's Subaru's? You know what I'm saying? Is he like in a fucked up headspace where he's like, damn, everybody think I'm a cheater. Damn. Now he probably feel all the pressure in the world to perform well, because if he don't, people gonna blame the PEDs. If Subaru fights like shit Saturday night, they go like, oh, it must have been because he wasn't on the juice. But then it's like, if he go ahead and he step on Dalton Smith, they're gonna be like, oh, it was the ostrich. So that's a very difficult situation. That's probably stressing Subaru out. That's probably fucking with his focus. But Subaru might also be the individual that gets pissed off, especially if reality he's innocent. Not saying that he is, not saying that he's not. But let's say in a situation in his mind, he know he innocent, right? And everybody calling him a drug cheat now, including me. Cool. That shit has to frustrate him to a whole different level. You feel what I'm saying? So that shit probably motivates him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, these motherfuckers want to disrespect me and say this. I'm going to take this shit out on him. So this shit could either fuck with his performance, or it could really, no pun intended, enhance his performance. We don't know we don't know. So maybe that's why the odds so close, because they don't know what the fuck about that. Slime said, I think he's a clean fighter, in my opinion. Hey, man. I mean, technically he wasn't because he had it in his system. But if you felt like he didn't take it purposefully, then that's your opinion. They said that about Ergashev and he quit. Facts. Yo, so many people was picking Ergashev to beat Subriel, bro. I'm like, I got Subriel fucked up. I remember we was in a group chat. Do y'all remember we was in a group chat talking about that fight? And Ergashev was getting off on Subriel for like 2 rounds. And they was like, see, I told you, Subriel ain't shit. Fuck Subriel. And I'm like, yo, the fight ain't over yet, bro. The fight ain't over. It's a 12-round fight. 3rd, 4th round came around. He started getting off on Ergashev, punching him to the body, hitting him up top. And this is the thing about Subriel, too. Subriel is heavy-handed, bro. So it's not like he pillow punching, he just chopping you away with, no, like he's punching you and he hits really hard. I know that from people that I know personally that spar Subriel. Like they said, this motherfucker has heavy hands. That's why like his punches be looking like slaps and they still break you down. There's motherfuckers who got heavy hands that if they slap you, that shit feels like a punch that's completely turned over. There's some people that just have that type of power. So can you imagine somebody putting pressure on you, got a fucking chin, great cardio, and they heavy-handed at that? That's a lot to deal with. That's what I've been telling motherfuckers for the longest. Can you beat Subriel? Yes, the nigga got 2 losses. But you're going to have to go through hell to beat him. Don't matter who you are, how good you are. Any of these niggas that fight Subriel, can you beat him? Yeah, he's lost before. Yes, it's not like a fucking impossible thing. People have done it before. But to get to that point, like to get there, bro, unless you spark this nigga with the first punch you throw, you're not gonna have an easy time doing that. It's not that simple. So when I see people, when I just seen that Bet MGM article say that Dalton Smith is gonna win because he's faster, more technical, more disciplined, I'm like, there's so many different things. There's so many different factors that you're leaving out that it gives me no other choice to just assume that no other choice but to assume that you're a casual. Because if all it takes to beat motherfuckers is speed, technique, and discipline, like goddamn, like a lot of motherfuckers will retire undefeated. Like Amir Khan would probably be fucking undefeated if it was that simple. The motherfucker's fast. He got some good technique. You know what I mean? He was disciplined. He just ain't have a fucking chin. R3 said, I think Russell could beat Matias. That's a good one. But we don't know. See, this is the thing. Like, Russell already been exposed by a solid counterpuncher, right? Albert Puello. Even though some people felt like he beat Albert Puello, whatever it is, what it is. Russell got holes in his game, too. Now, what happens with Russell when he's being walked down? How is he going to be able to deal with that? Because it's all good when you're coming forward. You know what I mean? And you may really excel in that department when you're coming forward. But what happens when you start getting pushed back and getting hit with shots you don't like? Because Russell ain't the most defensively sound motherfucker. He there to be hit too. So that shit gonna come down to durability and will. Who gonna have that? He beat Puello. No, he didn't. Subriel beat Puello. Russell didn't. My boy Ralph in the building said Dalton has fought nothing but UK level dudes. I don't see him winning, in my opinion. Hey man, I don't either. I really don't. And them, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Them UK motherfuckers be having trouble with them pressure fighters, boy. Like bad. I don't know what it is. That's why Mexico been running it up on them UK dudes. I don't know what it is, but like goddamn, like they really have trouble with pressure fighters, bro. So we'll see. We'll see. But I want to bring an entirely new segment to you guys, man. I put together this. I put together this image for you, man. We're gonna speak about, since we know we got a big fight coming up between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. I actually want to bring up this. This is gonna be like a fan poll type question. But I put together this photo for y'all to see. Let me go ahead and share the screen for y'all to see this. Here it is right here. And this is an image that I generated. And this is going to be Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, fan poll questions. Now, y'all see the questions right here, man. Who has the better ring IQ? Who has a better timing? Who controls distance better? We already know that one. Better defense, more power, more explosive. Who is faster? Who has better footwork? Who has better conditioning? Who is more composed, disciplined? Right? And we're gonna go through every single one of these categories, and we're gonna pick which ones we feel. We're gonna pick whoever we feel is better than each department. You see what I mean? I felt like this was a good little John for us to get into, man. I do want to interact with you guys a little bit more just to get more of your opinions and stuff like that. And if any of these Johns become debatable whatsoever, we'll put up a poll and have you guys decide. Just like how we did for the Mazuma TV Awards. You see what I'm saying? I forgot the other ones that was here because the comment covered it. Who has more heart/dog? Who is more adaptable? So we're going to definitely get into that, man. Does anybody have any questions before we get this popping? Shout out to my pop in the building. He says, salute to the room. Salute. Pop, love you, man. Salute to my father. My boy Slime said, this is fire. You should do this for each big fight. That's definitely the intention moving forward. That's the intention moving forward, man. You know what I mean? I need to start bringing up some new things. You feel what I mean? And really switch shit up a little bit. You know what I mean? Just get more involved with, interacting with you guys. So let's get this shit popping. Now, I don't want everybody being yes men in here. If you genuinely feel different than everybody else in here, then you make yourself clear. If you don't agree with me, make yourself clear. I promise you that will not get you blocked. That will not get you timed out. That will not get you kicked from the chat. You feel what I'm saying? Speak your mind. Challenge the argument, not the person. That's all I ask. You feel what I mean? Because some niggas get emotional. Be like, you know what, Mark? You a fucking hater, Mark. Man, fuck, Mark. You ain't got to do all that, brother. It's really not that serious. You know what I'm saying? We talking boxing. Let's keep it boxing. You feel what I'm saying? So, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, man. We're going to start with who has the better ring IQ. You know what I mean? Now, for those of y'all who don't know what ring IQ necessarily means, y'all hear the word, but y'all might not really know what ring IQ means. The Google definition for this is a combat athlete's ability to think strategically, read opponents, adapt tactics, and make intelligent decisions under pressure in the ring, separating raw skill from true mastery by knowing when, where, and why to use techniques, not just how. You know what I'm saying? It's the mental game of controlling space, exploiting weaknesses, and managing the flow of the fight, allowing the fighter to outthink rather than to overpower an opponent, making it a crucial factor in winning. Great definition, man. Shout out to Google for putting together that definition that quickly, man. AI is absolutely insane. Now, I know it may seem that, Shakur Stevenson, I'm going to just play devil's advocate here. This is not me disagreeing with anybody. I have not gave you guys my take yet. But I know the easy answer may seem to be Shakur Stevenson, despite, the easy answer may be Shakur Stevenson, right? You know what I mean? He's an undefeated fighter, very, very intelligent, always seems to find a way to win, hasn't had a close, controversial fight yet, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And he always seemed to, dissect these guys of their, strengths and, exploit their weaknesses. So it's like, hands down, Shakur Stevenson. However, and this may be a weak point, y'all let me know. It's not me necessarily rocking with Teofimo Lopez whatsoever, but Teofimo Lopez has fought the better opposition in comparison to Shakur Stevenson thus far in their careers, right? Josh Taylor, Vasyl Lomachenko, we speak about it. You know what I mean? If you want to include Richard Comey, cool. I don't really hold Richard Comey that high in comparison to a Loma and a Josh Taylor, but you know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez has been able to, I've seen, Teofimo Lopez discover the matrix, aka Vasyl Lomachenko. I've seen him be able to neutralize Lomachenko's angles. I've seen him be able to neutralize Loma's come forward pressure. Absolutely neutralize his offense for 6 to 7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? That was something that I seen Teofimo Lopez do. So, Shakur Stevenson may be the big answer. You know what I'm saying? But Teofimo Lopez has shown to rise to the occasion and show a bit of ring IQ in his biggest fights. So with that being taken into consideration, we see Jay Remy. Jay Remy says Shakur better IQ. ETC, my boy Anthony Clip says Shakur for sure. Agent 86 says Shakur. Beth Annual, Shakur. It seems like it's a unanimous decision in Shakur Stevenson's favor. Jay Remy said, I've seen fights where Teo fails to adjust to his opponents. Ortiz, Martin, no adjustment. That's not good IQ. Listen, I get it. You make a valid point. I was also going to bring that into consideration, but I want y'all to think for yourselves on this one. But no, I'm not putting up polls for each question 88. What I'm doing is if it's debatable, like if I feel like the room is split down the middle, and I'll put the poll up and just let people decide through the votes. But for this one right here, it doesn't really look like it needs a vote. It looks like I haven't seen not one person pick Teofimo Lopez yet for the better ring IQ category. So we're gonna go ahead and mark off. Let me see. How can I do this? Can I do it like this? Yeah. All right, so we're going to pick Shakur Stevenson for better ring IQ. There it is. There it is. Hold on. All right, cool. So we got Shakur Stevenson for better ring IQ, man. Shout out to the 26 people that's in the building. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Now, this may be more of a debatable topic. I ain't going to lie, because I do think that Teofimo Lopez's best attribute is his timing. Him being a natural counterpuncher, in my opinion, I feel like his timing is really what makes him him. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, he's a great counterpuncher in his own right. I've seen him time shots beautifully. You know what I mean? But I do think there's more dimensions to Shakur Stevenson's game than just timing. I think he's a defensive specialist, which also takes us, there's timing from a defensive aspect as well. You know what I mean? The Shakur Stevenson has immaculate timing from a defensive standpoint because it almost seems like he can see the fucking punch before the guy throws it. It takes a certain level of awareness, aka timing, to do so. You know what I mean? Teofimo Lopez, I've seen him watch people about to throw a punch and he beats them to the punch immediately. Richard Comey, Mason Menard, I've seen him get Arnold Barbosa with some good shots with timing. So we're talking about somebody who has great offensive timing in Teofimo Lopez and somebody that has great defensive timing in Shakur Stevenson. Which one do you think? Who do you think has the better timing? You know what I'm saying? We got to take into consideration that there's multiple tools in Shakur's toolbox. Great defense. You know what I mean? Great movement. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if counterpunching is Shakur Stevenson's primary skill. Meanwhile, that seems like that's the main tool in Teofimo Lopez's toolbox. Can you lean that towards Teofimo Lopez, considering that his timing is literally who makes him him? And if you were to take away great timing from Shakur Stevenson, he still has other things that he could fall back on. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson is an accurate puncher. Great gas tank, great movement. Great defense. There's other things that Shakur could fall back on. But Teo, it's like if you take his timing away, how effective can he be in the boxing ring? See what I mean? This is a good one. This is a good one. We got to be on box. Do I like Teo? Fuck Teo. I don't like Teo at all. You feel what I mean? I think he's a fucking racist. I think he's a piece of shit. That's just me. But when we talking about it from strictly a fan's perspective, from a fan's point of view, I do think this is very, very close. And Teo got some. He could be elusive too, and that takes a bit of time in itself to get out of dodge, avoid certain punches. You know what I mean? I've seen him get into a flow state defensively, so he has some good defensive timing as well. But I do think timing is really Teofimo Lopez's bread and butter. That's just me. You said Teo's timing wasn't there for Steve Claggett. How wasn't it there for Steve Claggett? He lit Steve Claggett the fuck up. He beat the shit out of Steve Claggett. It was that Claggett was hitting him back. Now, if you want to say Cambosis, it's like, yeah. I mean, that was a terrible performance. But you said his timing wasn't there for Claggett. He hit Claggett with everything. Well, Teo threw over 1,000 punches in that fight. He lit Claggett the fuck up and hurt him at the end of the fight. But Claggett did swell that boy the fuck up, though. But to say his timing wasn't there for Claggett was crazy. Yo, on some real shit, bro, you can't even. I don't even think you could be a part of this discussion. I forgot this dude's name. His name was something. Because he's like the biggest Shakur fan, so you shouldn't even be a part of this subject. I don't even think you have what it takes to be unbiased. I don't even know if you got what it takes to be subjective in this conversation. Because I think if you let it, he'll fucking choose Shakur for all these categories. Yeah, Robert Jenkins. There you go. Robert Jenkins is extremely biased. So what we doing, y'all? Do we got to put up a poll for this one? I've seen a few people pick Teo. From that song, I'm singing. Can y'all hear that music in the background, yo? Can y'all hear that music in the background, yo? You are extremely biased. That's not even a question. That's my girl playing music. I hope they don't flag my channel for the music. I don't think it's that loud, though. All right, put that poll up, y'all. So let me hear what y'all guys say. They came from this, so I'm saying. You said if Shakur wasn't good at something, I'll say it. The problem is you think Shakur is good at everything, so that don't even make sense. Marlon, shout out to my boy Marlon in the building. He said, to be honest, I don't know who to give time to. All right, Agent, appreciate that. Jalil, what's going on, brother? Salute. He said he gonna show out on question 4. Bro, we gonna skip. We gonna get right past question 4. Like that's not even a question. Shakur arguably got the best defense in the entire sport, so it's like, yo, the fuck. I'm letting the votes go in, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all like, let me see where we at. The majority vote got T.O. Damn, 15 votes already. That's what's up. I'm gonna give y'all 3 minutes. He is good at everything. Yeah, so why the fuck, see, contradicting yourself. And he's not good at everything. He's not good. Shakur is not good at everything. Everybody, you making it seem like he a perfect fighter, and he not. 16 votes. I think that's enough. You know what I mean? I don't think anything will change within. I don't think anything will change within these next few votes for real. So, looks like Teofimo Lopez won the vote with time. And as much as I really want to give both of them credit in this department, I think I'm gonna just go with the votes. Okay. Anonymous said the only thing we can say about his timing is not that great when the target is moving. We can say that about both. Okay. I want to give credit to both. But I'm trying to refrain from doing that. You feel what I'm saying? In terms like I want to give it to one person and one person only. So I'm gonna go ahead and give T.O. the better timing thing. But the only reason I'm gonna give T.O. this is because I really feel like that's his whole game. You feel what I'm saying? I think there's more dimensions to Shakur Stevenson's game. That's just me. So it's like you win that shit by default. You feel what I'm saying? I really feel like this is bread and butter. I feel like if you take his timing away, I don't think T.O. is the fighter that he is today. That's just my opinion. He said, "Old man Mazuma, now he gonna start crying over love." Listen, I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Trust me, I don't. You know what I mean? I only got one kid that I got. There's only one person in this world that I gotta attend to them if they crying. And you already know who that is. Not no motherfucker off YouTube. So I feel like this right here isn't even a conversation, to be honest with you. Who controls distance better? Come on. That's Shakur all day. This ain't even a conversation. Like Teofimo Lopez, he lunges in he smothers himself. He lunges into shots and completely loses his distance, especially when he's frustrated. He loses his whole idea of distance. All you gotta do is frustrate this motherfucker. This ain't even a conversation. I really don't even feel like I have to go back and forth with anybody about this. Yeah, this is a layup. This is what you call a layup. And while we're here, I feel like this is also a layup. I don't think anybody walking this planet could argue with me that Teofimo Lopez has better defense than Shakur Stevenson. You feel what I'm saying? So I think we just gonna go ahead and do this one as well. You know what I mean? We talking about Teofimo Lopez, who literally got punched on by George Kambosos. You know what I mean? Falling into shots and being check hooked and knocked down by Sandor Martin. This ain't a conversation, y'all. It's not. Who controls distance better? It's Shakur Stevenson. That's literally one of the best tools in his toolbox. And defense, I think those two things in itself, I think, are Shakur Stevenson's biggest strong suits. They actually go hand in hand. His ability to control distance as well as he does is the reason why he rarely gets hit. So when you put both of those together, that's literally like one of the most impressive things about Shakur Stevenson. I do think there's some underrated things about him. I do think his inside game is very underrated. I think his punching accuracy is very underrated. And I think his combination punching is very underrated as well. But what makes Shakur to me is his understanding of distance along with his spectacular defensive abilities. That's just me. Shakur has practical defense and Teo has flashy defense. That's a good way to put it. But along with the flashy defense that Teofimo Lopez has, it could be looked at as inconsistent as well. There's times where his defense looks squeaky clean, other times it doesn't. Outside and look, even with the Williams Cepeda fight, he showcased great defense. Even though Cepeda hit him, he showed multiple ways to defend himself, man. Like I've seen this man using the Philly shell. I've seen this man using his legs. I've seen it like, come on, bro. Shakur literally understands it's like he's mastered every form of defense. I've seen him catch shots with the high guard. You know what I'm saying? I seen him shoulder rolling. I seen him using his legs. He showed great. Winston got to be trolling. And yeah, I think a lot of people like flashy defense is like more appealing to look at, but it doesn't always mean that it's better. So those two things back to back, that's Shakur Stevenson. So it looks like Shakur Stevenson is absolutely outnumbering. He's outdoing Teofimo Lopez thus far. However, who has more power? I do think that Teofimo Lopez has lost some of his power since going up to 140. I do think he was a more devastating puncher at lightweight. But Shakur Stevenson, to be fair, hasn't fought at 140 pounds yet. He's never really been the biggest puncher himself. So I'm inclined to believe that even though Teo's power has seemed to diminish slightly at 140 pounds, I'll still look at him as the bigger puncher in comparison to Shakur Stevenson. So there's that. So what are y'all thinking? Oh shit, y'all niggas is on Robert Jenkins today. Y'all on his ass. Teo. ETC, he did hurt Josh Taylor. Okay. Mr. Stu, do I still got it? Yeah. I think Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez is gonna win the power department. So we're gonna go ahead and give that to Teofimo Lopez. All right. Now, do I really need to go back into the chat to discuss this? Who is more explosive? I don't really feel like this is much of a discussion, y'all. Much respect to Shakur. I've never looked at him as an explosive fighter. Never. I've never looked at Shakur as an explosive fighter. I've never seen Shakur. Like Shakur, he got some, he got some good speed. He got some solid speed. He got some good combination punching. He's an accurate puncher as well. But explosive, that's definitely not one of his strong suits. I see everybody posting Teofimo. So we're going to go ahead and put Teofimo Lopez, man. I don't really feel like that's much of a conversation to be had. Now, this could be a good one depending on what the people say. Who is faster? Athletic burst. Now, if you've been listening to everybody that's been talking about this fight, everybody has been picking Teofimo Lopez in terms of who is the better athlete, right? We heard Teofimo Lopez say that Shakur Stevenson is slow. Do I think Shakur is slow? No, not at all. I don't think he's slow. I don't think he's the fastest, but I don't think he's slow neither. Is Teo faster than him? Ooh, this looks like this is a little bit more debatable. Okay, some Marlon says Shakur faster. Precisely says Teo. Aja says he edges to Shakur. The Bully says Teo's faster. 88 says Shakur. Bully says Shakur does not have fast hands. Teo. No, I think even with the Williams Cepeda fight, Shakur showed some fast hands. I think they both fast, y'all. I think y'all not giving Shakur enough credit. It's maybe because y'all don't see Shakur punching combinations that often, but when he does, he got some solid. He do got some solid speed. I'm leaning more towards Teofimo, but I'm seeing how the way the chat looking right now. So I think this is probably the most debatable one out of all the ones that we've done so far. So you know what we about to do, y'all. Who's faster? Who is faster? Who is faster? My girl take forever to do them motherfucking nails. God damn. Let me see. Who is faster? Y'all heard him. Who is more faster? Y'all go ahead. Y'all, I seen a lot of people saying Tio. I seen a lot of people saying Shakur. Let's get these votes. It looks like the majority vote thus far is Teofimo Lopez, but it is looking close. We got 13 votes. I love that the people are interacting right now. Let me know, man. If we get to 20 votes, I'll close it off right there. We got 15. I'll close it off right when we get 20 votes. I'll close it off right there. Who could get the majority of the 20 votes? We got 17. Let's get two. Oh, we got 18. Let's get two more. Let's get two more. I'll close it off at 20. Let me know. Let me know. We got 33 people in here. We could get 20 votes. We got 33 people in here. We could get 20 votes. We got 19. Let's get one more. It's looking like it's Teofimo, y'all. It's looking like it's Teofimo. One more vote. But I don't even think the one more vote would really matter at this point because it looks like the overwhelming majority is Teofimo Lopez. All right, let's end the poll right here. We got 20 votes. Shout out to everybody that contributed to the votes. It looks like Teofimo Lopez got the majority of the vote. 65% of the vote said Teofimo Lopez is the faster fighter. And I see there's some people that's upset by the vote. Me personally, I don't think there's anything to be upset about. I think both of these guys are fast in their own right. People may feel like Teofimo Lopez is faster for whatever reason. No, Ralphie, we can't be disrespectful. See, that's what I meant by you got to challenge the argument and not the person. You can't come on here and say people don't know boxing. That's disrespecting my fan base. I mean, not my fan base. You disrespecting the nation by saying that. You know what I'm saying? So let's not do that. That's a little, you know what I'm saying? Just because they don't agree with you don't mean they don't know boxing. R3 say he joking. No, you know I fuck with you, R3. I'm just fucking with you. No, I'm fucking with you, R3. But they both fast. This just because we saying T.O. is faster don't mean that Shakur is slow. You feel me? T.O. is fast, though. He is fast. Shakur definitely got fast. Shakur definitely has fast-ass reflexes, for sure. But it says athletic burst. So when I'm hearing athletic burst, I'm thinking offense. You know, like combinations. You feel what I'm saying? Like T.O., he may take more chances, and that's probably why we see him being a faster fighter. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I think Teofimo Lopez isn't a bad vote. I don't think that's a bad choice. So Shakur may be faster in the mind. You know what I'm saying? But I do think I think Teofimo Lopez being faster from like an athletic burst standpoint, aka offense combinations. I do think T.O. could get that category. Now, who has better footwork? Shakur, Teofimo Lopez has flashy footwork, but intelligent footwork, like effective footwork, efficient footwork, it's Shakur Stevenson all day, in my opinion. I don't even think this is. In my head, this ain't really a discussion. You feel me? Shout out to the 40 people that's in the building. A lot of people say it's Shakur Stevenson. Y'all don't have to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Shakur definitely has better footwork, in my opinion. Like that Everdillo Santos fight, I ain't gonna lie, even though it wasn't the most entertaining, he showed some impressive footwork in that motherfucker. Theo does the Ali shuffle. Yeah, that's flash. You know what I mean? Like that's like showman type shit. Like that's not gonna help you win a fight. You feel me? That's just something to get the crowd riled up. That's flash. You feel me? Shakur not as flashy, but his footwork is better in my opinion. So looks like the overwhelming majority say Shakur Stevenson. Yo, this nigga, bro, what? Yo, hold on. I disagree precisely. I was watching highlights of Shakur and Tio, and I feel Shakur is more eye candy. What?
Hello, and welcome to the Los Pollos Hermanos family. My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Sus.
Fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self.
Aren't you embarrassed by this? Aren't you embarrassed by this?
Shakur is more eye candy. Did I read that right? This nigga tripping.
Shut up, bitch!
This nigga is tripping. Get this nigga some help. All right. He tripping. We gonna move on. He bugging the fuck out. Shakur Stevenson has the better footwork, ladies and gentlemen. That's just my opinion. Yeah, he tripping. It's already bad that like he girling over Shakur, but like this nigga don't think Shakur could do any wrong. He picking Shakur for every category. Now he's saying the nigga eye candy. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Like you really like you I ain't gonna lie, that just puts you on the wrench radar. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like I think that shit just put you on the wrench radar, bro. You gotta chill. My boy Slime Triggerhead be anonymous like he like the pack niggas. You gotta relax. You gotta chill. Anyways, we gonna go ahead and give Shakur Stevenson that credit. You know what I mean? Hopefully they don't get Robert Jenkins too moist. You feel me? But we gonna give Shakur the credit for better footwork. Now, this is a good conversation right here. This is a good conversation right here. I actually like this one right here. I was looking forward to talking about this. Better conditioning. Better conditioning. This is good. This might be a situation where I might have to pick both. But Teofimo Lopez shows superb conditioning in that Steve Claggett fight. And that Steve Claggett fight, let me find the punch stats for that. Because this shit tells you all in all how great a shape Teo comes into the fight with. Teo threw. This is crazy. Let me see. He threw 946 punches as a 140-pounder. Like, people don't understand how crazy that is. Even though Steve Claggett threw 820, which is also impressive. Teo comes in dog shape, yo. That's impressive, yo. This nigga said boxers and briefs. That's what you should actually dyke mother that. Because you know your dyke mother wear the baggy drawers with the dick holes in them. Let me see. Teo takes rounds off a lot, though. Elaborate, Jay. What do you mean? Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Except from a conditioning and cardio standpoint, the Claggett and Cepeda fights are pretty much even. I didn't even make it around to the Williams Cepeda fight, but I was about to say Shakur was in phenomenal shape for that one as well. Quality over quantity, I'll say that. What are you talking about? Teo landed 46% of his power punches in that Steve Claggett fight. That's quality, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, every fighter takes rounds off. That's very true. Teofimo more conditioned? Really? No. Do I put a poll up for this one too? How is it so far? Let me see. How many? Who's leading in the categories? Oh, it's dead even. 4-4. Oh. Right, Jay. Jay says Claggett is one fight. He doesn't do that every single fight. Loma fight, for example, took the middle rounds off. No, he didn't. Loma started to pick it up in the middle rounds. I wouldn't say he took the rounds off. Loma started picking it up. And even then, he came through in the 12th round and closed it out. But there's a difference between taking off rounds and losing the rounds. He started losing the rounds because Loma started picking that shit up. And I only seen Shakur Stevenson really show great really see his conditioning get pushed in a Williams Cepeda fight. You say I never seen Teo get tired. I never really seen Shakur get tired though. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm stuck. Why some said Loma almost stopped him in the 11th. One time of the day, I get this memo. Step at your crib, where you live, and pick you up on the way. So I'm seeing people put core. I'm seeing some people write Teo. I think they both had great conditioning. So is this a situation where we picking both of them? Or should we just do the vote? I'm going to do the vote. I wouldn't be mad with either one of these answers. Y'all saying draw, even, both. Teo, because he got a bigger nose. Yo, Winston a dickhead, bro. Yo, this nigga said because he got a bigger nose. All right, niggas said they ain't even voting. All right, I'm picking both. I'll pick both. So we did even. Shit. All right. So we gonna pick both of them for conditioning. I really don't want to do that, but let's do it. We got that dead even. So it looks like both of them each got 5 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Shakur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Teofimo. So to me, this one right here. Wait, what you mean better counterpuncher? Why is so? Oh, I'm sorry. The next one is who is more composed, disciplined? That's Shakur all day, baby. I've seen T.O. lose his cool in that ring. I don't know how many times. 3 times. Yeah, Sarah said, "Oh, nigga, that's Shakur." Yeah, we gonna cut the bullshit. We ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna sit here on this topic too long. So Shakur is definitely the more composed fighter. And we seen Shakur cry, but that was after the fight. T.O. the type nigga, he'd cry right in between rounds on some Oliver McCall shit. So should that be a question? We talked about it briefly on like who has the better timing situation. I feel like counterpunching is more of Teofimo Lopez's game than Shakur. I feel like Shakur got more things to fall back on and still be an effective fighter in the ring. I think if you take Teofimo Lopez's counterpunching away, like he's not gonna be who he is now. That's just my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like because that's T.O.'s main thing, that doesn't take away from the fact that Shakur is a superb counterpuncher as well, but it just seems like that's more of T.O.'s game. Like if a nigga specializes in like mid-range jump shots and shit, like a Sean Livingston, whatever. I mean, and you put him in there, this guy might be better than him all around that basketball, but because Sean Livingston specializes in the mid-range jumper, you may just give him that category. That doesn't mean that the other bull mid-range is ass. It's just that that's what that nigga, like that's his specialty. To me, counterpunching is T.O.'s specialty. Do y'all think, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do y'all think Teofimo Lopez would be who he is? Would he be in this position right now if he wasn't a great counterpuncher? Mind you, he won his first world title thanks to being a counterpuncher. Look at how the way that he fucking sparked motherfucking Richard Comey. Timing, counterpunch, punch right up, timed him with a counter shot. Counter right hand, put Comey out. He won his IBF title. One of the brothers is going to lose. I don't know which one just yet. Damn, Nick J. That would be crazy. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to get my charger real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. Let me get my charger for my laptop. All right, we back. Damn, Nick J said one of the brothers is going to lose. She said she don't know which one yet, but I feel like she already got. I think she already know the answer. Women always know the answer, so I think Nick J lying. I think you trying to leave a little mystique, but I think you already got the answer. This nigga Yasir Ali said, T.O. be acting like yay. He said T.O. be acting like yay. Bro, I know exactly. I agree. Yeah, Nick J, you want to say it. I feel like you already got the answer. Women always got the answers. So you just need to go ahead and drop your hot take, Nick. Stop playing. Okay. So shit, it looks like Shakur just took a brief lead here. And I think he's gonna smoke the rest of this. I think he's gonna smoke the rest of this, to be honest. But who has more heart/dog? Now, to be real, Theo has shown some doubt, but you never seen him stop trying in a fight. I seen even in you said Theo all day. Theo got more heart than Shakur? Really? Who has more heart/dog in the ring? Bully says Shakur will run from a hitter. Hey, man. You know what? I was all in on Shakur at this one at first, but now y'all got me thinking. Winston said, I see Shakur push through the pain trying to finish Padley. Real, like, we fuck with Josh Padley over here, but come on, dog. I don't think Shakur needed heart to beat Padley. Junior said, push Shakur with a big puncher. He's not moving the same. But how many big punches have we seen Teofimo Lopez fight? Like, Richard Coleman had a good right hand. But, like, I never looked at him as, like, this fucking world-class fucking monster. Like, I never looked at Coleman that way. So we don't know how Teo will react with a big puncher. You feel me? That's a bit in the air, but in reality, we have seen how the way Shakur has faced punchers like Nakatila. You know, he was a bit hesitant with Nakatila, was a bit hesitant with Edwin De Los Santos. Is that Shakur lacking heart, or is that Shakur playing it smart? Because you can have heart and then put that to the side to box smart. You know what I mean? Like Shakur, like you couldn't tell me Floyd wasn't a dog. You couldn't tell me Floyd wasn't a dog, but he knew when to turn up and he knew when to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just because you take a certain approach in a fight don't mean you a bitch. Yo. Do I still got it? Damn. So what we doing? All right. We putting a poll up. I ain't about to be going back and forth with y'all. I fuck with y'all, but I'm gonna let the votes do the talk. What is it again? Is that my son? I was gonna say this. I don't feel like neither one of these niggas really had to show their heart yet. Damn, but Tio got heart though. Cause the way he got dropped by Cambosis, he got beat up by Cambosis. He bleeding everywhere. Doctor talking about he could have died in the ring and all this shit. And that nigga kept rumbling. Like he never, like Tio be breaking down outside of the ring. He be doing bitch shit, but when he be in there, like he really be going for it. Like he don't be on no whole shit when he in the ring. Like he really try to go get it. The problem is getting him in the fucking ring. That's what it seemed like. The problem is when he in there, he do his thing. Yeah, and Teal did show heart against Loma because Loma was cooking him later on in that fight, and he came back and closed the fight out. But Shakur, he showed dog in that Cepeda fight. Baboon, I didn't say that his heart would matter with Shakur, brother. That's not. We talking about who has more heart. We're not saying that that's going to play a factor in why he may possibly beat Shakur. But Jay says Shakur never been beat up to show that can't hold it against him because he's too good. Yeah. It's hard to say a dude that's known for ducking got so much heart. Yeah, the outside the ring bullshit is crazy. When I'm trying to lock in more and focus on more is when they're in there, who has displayed more heart and dog. And it makes me want to lean more towards Tio, even though I know Tio a bitch. I know he's a duck. I know all of that. But like ring performances between the two of these guys, like Shakur hasn't really had to show that outside of the William Cepeda fight. And I ain't gonna lie, I think he did that voluntarily. I think he displayed heart and dog with Cepeda because he wanted to, not because he had to. There was times where Tio had to do it to get through a fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's interesting. This is a good one. Let me see what the people saying. Ooh, that shit was at 50-50. Oh shit. It just changed up a little bit. Can we get two more votes? Can we get two more votes? It's been up 3 minutes. We got 18 votes. Can we get two more votes? Ooh. Yo, y'all keep playing with the votes, bro. Y'all voting and unvoting. Y'all gotta pick one, cuz. Can we get one more vote? Ooh, 55-45. Teofimo Lopez. Ooh, 21 votes. Somebody else voted for Tio. 55-45, 57-43. Damn, that's close, man. Shakur only probably lost by I don't know how many votes. You got 57%. Damn. 22 votes now. So it looks like Teofimo got the majority vote. Do y'all agree with this? You remember Queens? I got all this pimp shit up in my jeans. Ooh, blame it on my mother. Lord, less than me. Oh, trouble. I've never seen T.O. quit or contemplate quitting. Where did he contemplate quitting, Robert? What fight was that? Yeah, Junior. They playing Brent Fayez over there. Then at the same time, I guess I'm everything and nothing at the same time. Then do I still got? He said that after he won the fight, bro, or he said that after a fight. He didn't say that during the fight. If I let you down, my Rolling Stone. All right, so y'all voted for T.O. Yeah, man. This ain't to say that that Shakur ain't got no heart, but I feel like Teofimo Lopez has shown more of it when they've been in the ring. But maybe it's because Shakur is that fucking good that he doesn't need to do that. This one right here is not really a conversation for me personally. Y'all could just let me know. Who is more adaptable? Come on. T.O. couldn't adapt to no motherfucking Sandor Martin. He couldn't adapt to no Jermaine Ortiz. Come on. Shakur can adjust. Shakur can sit there and rumble you. He could box you. He could sit in the pocket with you, make you miss. He could take you. He could move all around the ring, and you can't touch him. He could fight you on the inside. Come on. This ain't really a conversation for me. Hey, they playing that Trey Songz over there. All right, so Shakur Stevenson has the more adaptable section. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, Shakur wins by one fucking category. Wow. At the park like Derek Jeter. Bully says Shakur doesn't fight them styles though. I think nobody. This music is distracting me, y'all. I'm sorry. It won't be that close on fight night. Jay, who you got winning, Jay? All right, so we're gonna close out this live with asking the ultimate question. The question that really matters out of all of this. I actually enjoy doing this. I want to do this more often. Who wins this fight? And how? Go ahead, y'all. Do y'all votes. I want as many of y'all as possible to go ahead and vote. We got 31 people in the building. Don't type it in the comments. Place y'all votes, man. Ooh, why y'all keep changing votes? Nobody. Junior said, I really don't know. Nigga, pick one. Pick one, guys. You ain't got to be right, brother. 12 votes. It's good. It's good to see people interacting on here, man. I got to do this more often. Why I ain't got TKO up there? KO, TKO, they go hand in hand, brother. They both knockouts. You know what mean, TKO, KO, they both stoppages, brother. So if you feel like it's gonna be a TKO, vote for the KO one. They go hand in hand. The TL disrespect is crazy. I think you respect TL too much. Yo. Jay Remy says Shakur by UD. I think it's pretty clear cut too. Okay. It's interesting. All right. Come on, let's get these votes. I'm gonna give y'all 3 minutes to vote. We got 30 people in the building. Why we can't get 30 votes? If we got 30 people in here and only 17 voted, there's 13 other people that should be voting. Why are y'all not voting? What y'all here for? What is y'all here for if y'all not voting? I don't understand. We got 19 votes. Salute to everybody that's supporting. I don't know what, like, I just want to sit here and stare at a nigga. Like, I don't understand that. I'm not the most handsome looking nigga. I can go stare at somebody else. You feel me? Like, interact, bro. Where's durability? Hey, man. I couldn't get them all, man. I couldn't get them all. I'm sorry. Maybe on the next one. What? You'll see Yeshua's what? Shakur might hurt his hands. Shit. Well, Tim Bradley was criticizing Shakur because of how the way he's seen him performing in camp. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about why you reusing old raps. You know what I'm saying? You want to protect your hands. And you know what? Let me pull the video up. Let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen for this one. That was fun. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely enjoyed doing that. I like interacting with y'all. I think that's probably my favorite thing to do. So I'm gonna start doing that more often. But you go ahead on YouTube and pull up Tim Bradley. Let's hear what Tim Bradley had to say about Shakur Stevenson.
Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Look, man, I'm looking at this Shakur, man. If you don't know, Shakur got a YouTube channel. It's at Shakur Stevenson, I believe. At Shakur Stevenson. Check it out, man. I've been watching all his moves, man. What's been going on? You know, hey, Shakur. Hey, I hope you doing what makes you tick. I hope you ain't doing all no extra shit. You don't need all that extra shit. You better be doing what make you tick. I remember when you went to one of Crawford's camp and you did one of his trainings and you know, a full camp and stuff, man, and one of his training programs and shit, man, got in the fight and you look like shit, man. You look like hell. That was that Nakathila fight, man.
So with Tim Bradley, he added a little bit of humor in there, but what he's meaning by, and I guess it could be self-explanatory depending on who hears it, but he's saying you better be doing what makes you tick. So what he means by that is you better be doing shit that gets you sharp. You know what I mean? That gets you, clicking. You know what I mean? That's going, basically it. What was getting you sharp and helping you prepare and get you shitty sharp for the fight. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying that I hope you ain't trying these new regimens that really ain't for you. You did a training session with Crawford and you thought because it got Crawford sharp, it was going to get you sharp, and you ended up looking like shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've always said this, man, not to get too carried away into a different conversation, but I always say how motherfuckers will see somebody winning over there, like see somebody else's formula and want to, adopt that. And it's like, just because it works for that person doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. You need to find your own regimen. You need to find out what gets you ticking. You know what I'm saying? And you know what makes you tick may not make that person tick, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Tim Bradley, like, yo, you need to be doing shit that you know in your heart is gonna get you ready for the fight. Trying all that new extra shit could be your downfall because you pretty much trying to fix something that ain't broken. That's how I take that message.
Like, man, I done stuff I ain't never done before. All this stuff, man. You don't need all of that shit, man. You need to do what make you tick, man. I know this fight is big. I know you can add a little bit of something, but man, if you overworking yourself, man, and you ain't gonna be rested, man, if you ain't resting your hands, taking care of what you need to take care of. Oh shit, one more thing I gotta tell you, Shakur. Man, what you doing with them wraps, man? Stop being cheap. Stop being cheap, man. I see you cutting off them damn wraps and then just taping them back on, man. That's how you messing up your damn hands. You messing up your hands because it ain't tight. The shit ain't tight. You can't get it tight. You putting a glove on. That shit ain't tight. You should be getting your hands wrapped by a master professional hand wrapper every single day, bruh. You getting paid gravy. You getting paid gravy, dude. If you can't fly a dude out, that's great with the damn hand wraps, man.
I actually agree with Tim Bradley 1,000,000% on that right there. Just speaking from somebody who's been a part of a lot of training camps for professional fighters. If you have hand issues like Shakur Stevenson, where you've hurt your hand on multiple occasions in multiple fights, you need to do what you need to do in order to protect your fucking money makers. You see what I'm saying? You can't swap these hands out and go buy some new ones, at least not yet. You feel what I'm saying? I told Shakur Stevenson himself back when I was on Jagar Talk with Najee Kunas. I told Shakur Stevenson that he should look into stem cells. You know what I mean? Because from what I've heard, from the research I've gathered, you know what I mean? They could definitely help you with certain parts of your body that seem to be injury prone. And I seen that he was actually invested into something that creates stem cells, you know, in certain areas. And he said that, you know, it was working, but in the Josh Padley fight, he actually hurt his hand again. So I don't know how well that actually worked. But if you're having hand issues as frequently as Shakur Stevenson is, you shouldn't be you should not be recycling reps, Shakur. That's like lazy shit. Shakur said, Tim is saying that's cheap. That's cheap shit. It could definitely be looked at as cheap, but to me, it just seems like it's more lazy than anything. Shakur Stevenson got money. I'm sure it won't kill him to go buy a fucking box of gauze and tape. You feel what I mean? I don't know if I don't know if he's being cheap. But one thing I can say is that's being lazy, bro. You need to sit your ass down every training session and have a coach in your team, whether you hire one that's an expert at wrapping hands or if your coach is good at wrapping hands himself. You need to sit your ass down in the chair and have them wrap every training session. You should not be recycling no type of wraps, man. Because like Tim Bradley says, once you cut them bitches off, they not the same no more. You feel what I mean? It's still gonna have that padding on the knuckles and shit like that, but your shit's not, your wrists and all that's not gonna be as secure as it is when you first wrap your hand. You know what I mean? When it's locked in. You feel what I'm saying? So Shakur, you definitely doing yourself a disservice and putting yourself at serious risk of picking up another hand injury based off of the way that you're moving. You know, I hope that he came across Tim Bradley's video. Tim Bradley is somebody that Shakur knows personally. So I'm sure he probably ran into it by now. But yeah, bro, you definitely need to go and get your hands wrapped every session. You know what I mean? If you box 2 times a day, guess what? You need to be getting your hands wrapped 2 times a day. As soon as you cut them bitches off, they need to be thrown out. Don't keep the pad in. Don't recycle. No. We ain't doing none of that. Unless you go autograph them motherfuckers and give them to somebody, there's no reason for you to be keeping them Jones, bro. That's just my opinion. You got too much fucking money. Too much money to be recycling wraps, bro. And you got a team. You got a team of motherfuckers that know how to wrap hands. They need to be wrapping them every single time. And they shouldn't be lazy with the shit neither, especially since you're paying them. Make the motherfuckers wrap your hand every training session, bro. Hamza Shiraz had plaster in his reps. Bad Moon, cut it off. Cut it off, bro.
That's what you need. If you got hand problems, bruh, and you need to keep your hands healthy, you need to hire somebody, man. All that damn money you making, bruh, hire somebody. Shit, tape it on some old ass raps. What's going on? Come on. What we in elementary school? Come on, dog. Them hands need to be wrapped. You can't mess around and go into this fight with Teo. You can't. You cannot mess around and go into this fight with Teo and your hands is hurt, man. Shit, that's not gonna be a damn excuse. Hell no. This is a dude, man, Teofimo Lopez, bro. He been going at us. Yeah. And when I say at us, yeah, straight to our face, saying monkeys and bananas and all this shit. All this racist stuff, bruh. This your chance to shut his ass up, bruh. Yeah, that's what it is. It's your chance. So everybody riding with you, man. Shit, but this ain't gonna be no easy task. This dude here coming to bag up every single word he said. Every word he said. And you get in there and you play, and your hands ain't right, bruh, and you ain't in there being a little bit of Pookie with a little bit of Shakur, but you gonna have to bring everything out against this dude, Teofimo Lopez, because he coming for your ass in every single way. Every damn way, Shakur, I'm telling you. He gonna box your ass a little bit. He gonna pressure you. He gonna change speeds on your ass. I'm telling you, man, this dude is coming for your ass. You better be ready, but you don't need to be doing all that extra shit if it's gonna weaken you. If you ain't gonna be at your full potential, man, for real. You don't need to be doing all this extra shit and get a hair wrap, dude. But anyways, that's my time, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, and you already know the damn rest.
So it seemed like Tim Bradley was coming from a good place. It was a bit passionate, it was a bit extra, to be honest with you, but I understood where he was coming from, man. It really seemed like Tim want Teo to lose real bad. You can tell he's not really too fond of Teo. I remember back when he was saying that Teo could beat Jaron Ennis and all that shit, that he later came out and said that he only said that so he could spice up the fight because he really want to see Teo get his ass whooped. You know, so I can tell he's not really too fond of Teo. But regardless, you know, Tim made some valid points, bro. You know what I mean? Make sure that the training sessions that you're doing you aren't overtraded from them Johns. You need to, you know, invest more into what already works and, you know, refrain from doing new shit and completely switching around the whole program because that could really hinder your performance. The hand wrap situation, I agree with them 1,000,000%, bro. There's no reason why that you recycling reps, bro. Like, that's lazy. And that lets me know one or two things. And, you know, Neek J, she beat me to the punch. But she says that tells me Shakur be putting extra on his hand issues. That's a ready-made excuse for when he doesn't perform like fans expect. And the reason why I said that she beat me to the punch, because it let me know one or two things. Either lets me know that, one, he's a bit irresponsible with how the way he approaches taking care of his hands, hence why he gets so many hand injuries. Or two, his hand injuries ain't all that fucking bad, and he exaggerates how bad they really are, because if they were as bad as you say they were, then you probably wouldn't be recycling reps because you know that you will be prone to getting injured again. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my whole take on this whole situation, man. I'm going to be wrapping up the live as well. I've been on here for about 2 hours. It's 1 in the morning where I currently am, and my son is asleep. He's going to be waking up within the next 6 to 7 hours, so I need to go ahead and get my rest, because when my son wake up, it's like the motherfucking the Tasmanian devil, Taz, going to start ripping and running around my crib, so I got to be ready for that. I got to have the energy for that. You feel what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead, give me some rest. I hope y'all do the same. Shout out to the nation and the mob. It was a great conversation today, great live overall. I'm looking forward to doing more of these things with you guys and continue interacting with the chat. You feel what I mean? I'll be back at y'all on another live, 10:30 p.m. And I know I've been coming on late, but the only reason why I came on late is because I overslept with my son. That's the only reason why. I lay him down in the dark, and next thing you know, I'm asleep right along with him, so I apologize for that. But in the meantime, I will be live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.